Hey guys, Jonathan with Firebox Campaign. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here to talk to you today with something a little different. On all my other videos, I've always talked about CZs, the great ergonomics, the great pistols. Check out those videos if you're interested. Today I got something a little different. I had the opportunity to try a Canik. So I have a Canik TP9 Elite Combat, and this is a pretty fantastic pistol. So what is Canik? They're from Turkey. The primary guns used in their law enforcement and military. They're located in the Canik Mountains of Turkey, so that's kind of where they get their name. I think it's pronounced Canik Dağları Mountains, something. I don't know. I'm probably butchering the shit out of that. But anyways, they're on the northwest border of Turkey. It kind of borders the Black Sea there. I thought that was kind of cool when I researched that a little bit. Turkey uses these as their law enforcement military guns. They have a big array of different firearms to choose from. The TP9 series is what I'm talking about here today. Anyways, Canik was originally an aerospace defense company. They had ties with like Boeing and Airbus. They did a lot of aero engineering, and then they got into firearms a little bit later in their business career, as you could say. They were established roughly in 2012 when they partnered with Century Arms to establish a U.S. market base. So I didn't know that Canik, in order to produce these guns, had to sister partnership with Century Arms. Century Arms, in my experience, I don't have any affiliation with these two companies. I'm not getting paid to say any of this. Just kind of my own experience with this particular sample of one. Anyways, 2018, Ballistic Magazine gave them the Editor's Choice Award. They've got a pretty good track record so far. And the TP9 Elite Combat Series specifically, this guy was developed in 2019. And then they also have in here the Salient Arms upgrades. What is that? The fluted gold barrel. There's some upgraded trigger performance parts in here from Salient Arms. While we're talking about this trigger, this is for a striker fire gun. It's a good trigger. It has a flat-faced metal trigger shoe in there. Still don't know what you call this. The trigger safety, it's pretty wide. Sorry, tongue twister. Pretty wide. You got some slop there, a little bit of take up, but once you do hit that wall, it's a nice clean 3.5 pound break. The reset is positive. It pushes your finger forward in a nice break there at the wall. Reset. Nice audible click. I really like this trigger. I did test the poundage of this before. I didn't get it on video, but I got 3.5 pounds on average. So for a striker fired out of the box gun, pretty fantastic. And I'm pretty sure Canik is known for their triggers at this point. They're kind of taking the subcompact carry gun right now by storm. They have the Medi series out there, the compatibility with all of their magazines and all of their guns. So far, I'm pretty impressed with what you get out of the box with these guys. We'll start with the tip to butt and just kind of go over it. And this is all factory out of the box. MSRP of this guy is roughly $780 on their website. I saw it on Gunbroker for about anywhere from $700 to $750. Then you get the 3% credit card fees, and by the time you're shipping, everything's probably paying more. So if you could find these at a local gun store, that'd probably be the best. I got this one on a trade. I think the guy got a better deal than me. I traded another carry gun that I just sat in my safe. Nonetheless, I'm left with this guy. I'm not mad about it. It has a threaded muzzle here with a thread protector, and they give you a wrench in here so you can take this on and off and tighten it down. Mine's kind of loose actually at the moment, so maybe I'll tighten that down later. But threaded barrel right out of the box. You can put suppressors on there. Fluted gold barrel. This is a performance barrel from Salient Arms. On top of the slide, you have fiber optic front dot, and currently with the red dot setup that I have, you lose the rear sight. But it does come with a plate. The back side is attached with a blacked out rear, so you can see that on there, which is pretty cool. And these are steel sights with a nice shelf on there. The front is actually serrated as well, give you some texture in case you got to rack that off something. But the proprietary plate system that they have for this kind of limits you, because obviously you lose your rear sight. You're stuck with whatever they offer. So currently, I have a Vortex Venom on here now, which I'm not a huge fan of this red dot. In daytime, the brightest setting still not that bright. It doesn't have auto on and off. Anyways, for competition, maybe. I don't plan on keeping this on here. It was just for trial basis. But the plate that does come on the gun is pretty thick. It sits high, and they give you a slot here. It's ambidextrous. I didn't even need to switch that for a charging handle. It comes with it, and I'll show you in a minute how that works. But the charging handle, and yeah, so you can for competition use. Anyways, the slide itself is nitride coated. Obviously, you can see this sleek black here. Front and rear serrations. The rear serrations are good. You can grip it just fine. The front serrations I wish were a little bit more. I don't think they went back as far, because when you do press checks, sometimes you slip a little bit there, just because you can see how the front is tapered, how the slide kind of angles out and down. It's thinner at the top, thicker at the bottom. So underneath you can grab it fine, but on top, if you want to press check, sometimes I have trouble slipping down, because down low the serrations are good, up top they're a little bit less. Enough talking about serrations. In the back of the weapon, you have a loaded chamber indicator. It's red. Some people say maybe that can take away from your sight picture. When I was shooting this gun, I had no problems seeing it, and it didn't take away anything for me. After you depress the trigger, it does go away, and then when the gun cycles, it comes back. Loaded chamber indicator. Do what you want with that. I don't really care for it. Doesn't matter to me. The gun is completely ambidextrous, so you have slide stop here, a slide stop on the back side. Your takedown. This gun takes down a little bit differently than what I'm used to. Pull back and you pull that a little bit. Normally you would slide it all the way off, but this comes kind of forward and stops, and then it just pulls up. So I had to get used to that. It took me a minute to figure that out. Nonetheless, it comes apart fine. Not a big deal. The magazine release, you can switch to either side. It's ambidextrous as well. It comes with 3 different sizes, a small, medium, and large. I currently still have the small in there, because when I release it, I can hit it okay. If you want something bigger that sticks out more, an extended slide release, they do offer that. It comes standard with the weapon. The grip is pretty decent. Ergonomics aren't bad at all. It's got a semi-high beaver tail, so you can get high on the gun. It's a little fat, the grip, so I'm used to something a little bit smaller. And what I mean by fat, it's wide up here. So when I put my hand around it, and I have pretty small hands, it feels fat in my hand. I don't know how else to say it. It comes with two back straps. At least mine came with 2, a small one and a big one. They're not marked, so you just got to put it on there or compare the 2 before you do. The back checkering on these straps is pretty good. When I shot this gun, it didn't slip around in my hand at all. I felt like I got a good grip on it. The side panels, this is not rough at all. So if you were to carry this, because this is technically their compact version of the TP9s, this wouldn't rub at all. It's still pretty large. I wouldn't recommend for concealed carry unless you're a big guy. The front checkering here is fine. You can get a nice cut on it. I wish the undercut on here was a little bit more, because I feel like that's where it feels fat to me. So the undercut on here could be a little bit more in my opinion, but it's not a huge deal. And then you get a standard out of the box matte steel or aluminum, I'm not sure, I think it's aluminum, magwell. So for, you know, reloads and whatnot, comes standard right out of the box. A lot of good things about this gun. Full Picatinny rail up front too for your lights. A lot of positives out of this gun right out of the box. You get a lot of things for your money that a lot of other companies don't offer. Fantastic trigger, threaded barrel, upgraded trigger parts with those salient arms. One thing I did have, and I don't know if this was mine or if this is something that everybody has a problem with, but I had a lot of light primer strikes. More than likely, it was just the ammunition I was using. I did use some Federal 124 grain ball that cycled fine, but I didn't have a lot of that. Mainly, I was using 115 ball AAC from Palmetto State. It was pretty cheap, so I figured I'd give it a try. So I also fired that out of my P07 at the same time and didn't have one malfunction. So is it the ammo? Is it the firearm? I don't know. I need more testing and more ammunitions to run out of this to know for sure. When you get this out of the box, it comes with two steel magazines. One's 15 rounds, and I believe one is 19, 18 or 19. I can't remember. I got gypped because he gave me one 15, and I think the guy I traded my other weapon for gave me two 15s and kept the other extended rounder for himself. But reloads for this, for me, weren't smooth. This magazine drops freely. I had no problems, but this other magazine was sticking. So reloads weren't, even flicking it weren't smooth. So two negatives, magazines weren't dropping freely, and I had a lot of light primer strikes. So for me, that's not a deal breaker, but I wouldn't trust my life to this gun just yet. It comes also with a Kydex holster out of the box. It's not the best. It feels kind of flimsy. It does hold the gun just fine. Retention on it's fine. There's just something about it that doesn't feel adequate. I don't know, but I didn't have any problems at the range with it. The clips on the back have a nice claw on it, so it hooks onto your belt okay. For the range or concealed carry, I'd say that this works just fine. So again, guys, what are your thoughts on Caniks? Would you trust your life to them? Comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, guys, because I love all that you have to say about your feedback. So that's it. Canik TP9 Elite Executive. That's another thing. The Executive model is the all black, and you have the TP9 Elite Combat that is brown. So you have two choices when you order these. That being said, I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. What are your thoughts, guys? Love you. Have a good day.